My response to Turkey is this. Yesterday, they text me. They text me and say, we can talk about the fight.
Turki Alalshikh has just sent brutal warnings to Canelo and even threatened his next match after Canelo Alvarez disrespected him on live.
Called me yesterday. They text me yesterday if is it possible to talk about the Crawford fight for February.
Canelo recently proved to the Saudi boxing mogul how he wouldn't bulge to his demands, but would do things his own way, and it only got worse from there. Take it as a joke or the real deal, but powerful Saudi Arabian boxing broker Turki Alalshikh has said he is no longer interested in building a fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, and has fired further warnings at Canelo Alvarez for being adamant.
Like alashikh say that he sent you an offer, possibly to face Crawford for coming up.
Alashikh, the man who has served as the figurehead for the Riyadh season movement and is primarily responsible for injecting life into the boxing world, posted an informative update on social media on Tuesday morning.
Is that true, or what happened with that?
No, I don't have any offer. And
most notably, he called out Kinkin regarding a fight with Crawford. It's not something he wants anymore. Crawford has shared his desire to fight Canelo, calling it a legacy fight that could provide generational wealth. Alalshikh has publicly stated his intentions to make the fight happen. On Tuesday, Canelo was asked to give the payout amount he'd want to fight Crawford, and he told one reporter $150 million. It's unclear if that was a serious demand or posturing. It's also unclear if that response pushed Alalshikh to abandon making a Crawford superhighway.
look, I'm 100% focused on this fight, and then we'll see.
Speaking on the matter, Alvarez said, "I'm not asking for that fight. I think Teofimo Lopez deserves it more than me. My response to Turkey is this: yesterday they texted me to talk about the Crawford fight in February, and I said I'm not going to talk about any other fight. I'm focused 100% on this Edgar Berlanga fight. I respect Turkey, but if he wants to work with me, it needs to be my way."
He said to me, send to me 2 Ferrari to play in Saudi Arabia. I said to him, we will send to you 2 gloves.
Following Canelo Alvarez's comment, Turki Alalshikh has now stated that he is no longer interested in pursuing the fight between Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Alalshikh has decided to shift gears, announcing his disinterest in pursuing the bout. Instead, he will focus on building Crawford's profile in the U.S. market and promoting other top fighters like Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and Javante Davis.
Because of any. I'm in this position. If he wants to work with me, it's in my way.
On the other hand, Saul, Canelo Alvarez doesn't like to discuss future plans when he has a fight on his immediate schedule, and he emphasized how that point applies even when pressed by boxing's newest big power broker, Turki Alalshikh.
I don't need it.
What didn't you like about how he approached?
Alvarez said he was contacted by Alalshikh on Monday about the possibility of taking a February fight in Saudi Arabia against new crown junior middleweight and 4-division champion Terence Crawford.
The way to approach. It's not the way to approach to me. Look, I respect everybody, and I respect Turkey.
They called me yesterday, Alvarez told PPV.com in a Tuesday interview before his news conference with September 14th super middleweight opponent Edgar Berlanga at the Beverly Hills Hotel. They wanted to meet with me and see about the fight with Crawford in February. I said, look, I'm not interested in talking about another fight after September 14th. We can talk, but not right now. Music. Alalshikh then announced on X late Monday night that just wrapped up an important meeting now with my team planning for the upcoming fights that we will make for 2024 to 2025. I decided to disregard the Canelo fight as I don't want it anymore. Instead, I will be focusing on the U.S. market with bigger fights, especially for the legendary Crawford. He added, I am focusing on Riyadh season card Wembley edition 21st of September, Anthony Joshua versus Dubas, and depending on the results of Riyadh season's opening card, Bevel versus BBV on the 12th of October, I will build the card for the rematch of Fury versus Usyk on the 21st of December, and another big card in the first quarter of 2025. Stay tuned.
Pero yo como le digo.
No, tienes que decirle.
Aquí.
Pero no merece pelear contigo.
Sí.
No merece.
Aparte, yo no estoy pidiendo esa pelea. Al final
Claro
de
que
cuentas.
no. La quiero para mi hijo,
Sí.
por favor.
Sí, no, aquí yo creo que Crawford needs to fight Teofimo first, and then we'll see, right? At the end of the day, like I said before, I'm not asking for that fight. They wanna make that fight because it's a payday, obviously. But I don't want that fight. I think Teofimo deserves more than me.
He's the king at 140 right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Turkey has said that he's not interested in the fight anymore. What's your reaction or your response to that?
Wait. Take it easy. My response to Turkey is this. Yesterday, they text me. they text me and say, we can talk about the fight in February with Crawford. Yeah. They text me yesterday and I say, look, I'm not gonna talk about any other fight. I'm focused 100% on this fight. Look, I don't like the way he talked, and I'm not in this position because of any. I'm in this position. If he wants to work with me, it's in my way, not in their way. I don't need it.
What didn't you like about now being coach?
It's not the way to approach. It's not the way to approach to me. Look, I respect everybody and I respect Turkey, but look, if he wants to work with me, it need to be in my way.
You said you feel Crawford is easy. You felt that Crawford to you is easy money, or why? What did you see there, Canelo?
Look, I don't want to talk. Crawford is a great fighter, and I don't want to talk about that. He's a great fighter, and I have nothing to with Crawford.
Did you say the Pitbull? How'd you see the Pitbull fight?
For division and unified super middleweight champion Alvarez said he told his occasional promoter Eddie Hearn the same thing at the first stop of his and Beranga's press tour in New York. Eddie Hearn asked me, hey, we want to talk about the Crawford fight in February. Turki Alalshikh wants to meet you in person in Los Angeles. Alvarez said, I said, look, I don't want to talk about the fight.
As I tell before to the ESPN, I give him the offer. If he's smart, he will accept it.
Israel was a tough competitor. I knew he was going to be tough. Like I said, I knew all about him when I went to Uzbekistan, and they was telling me so much about him. He real strong. He's durable. He took a lot of good shots, and he got me to around 12. What I say, if the money's right, we got to fight. But at the same time, you know, he got to fight. You know that he's focused on. I'm gonna go back to my family. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna enjoy this win and enjoy all the accomplishments that I've made.
Few people obviously put Alec on pause. His deep investment in boxing has moved many fighters to flock to Saudi Arabia or to accept purses they've never seen before to participate under his Riyadh season banner. The height of the Alec ring kissing came Saturday night at the Los Angeles card, where Crawford edged Israel Madrimov by unanimous decision to capture the World Boxing Association 154 pounds belt.
As I tell before to the ESPN, I give him the offer. If he's smart, he will accept it.
It's a waste of time. It's not a 116, 112 fight. He was in the fight. He's coming into the fight as the champion. But because he's fighting Terence Crawford, he doesn't get a shake. All of the effective punches were coming from Israel Madrimov. Crawford had a good flurry in, I think, the last 10th round. It was a super close fight. I believe when you come into that ring as champion, you've got to take the belt off that champion. Terence Crawford didn't do that. And I love him. He's brilliant. But for me, he deserves to be champion tonight. It was a fight that could have gone either way. And then you hear the scorecards, and it's like, why'd you bother?
Interrupting the card's flow, the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame and promoters Hearn and Oscar de la Hoya attended a ring ceremony granting Alalshikh a special induction into the hall despite the fact he has never staged a fight in the state. Meanwhile, Alvarez was bowing to no one. Maybe that's why they announced this, because I said, no, I don't want to talk about the fight. Alvarez said, I'm very focused on this berlanga fight. Alec previously sought to poke at Alvarez by saying he was investing in the production of the anticipated UFC card at the Las Vegas Sphere, also on September 14th.
Well, Israel Madrimov did enough to edge it tonight. I know there's always the argument of dethroning the champion, whether you think that's a thing or not. You know, I'm not sure I felt that Bud Crawford dethroned Israel Madrimov tonight, but what we are is extremely proud of him. 10 fights in, and we're debating whether he won a fight against the pound-for-pound number one.
We can yell at the world and say a rematch, but they won't give. I mean, everything. Remember, when we walk into this fight, it was a lose-lose for us and a win-win for him. Right now, even though people say, "Oh, Israel won the fight," everything goes to Crawford. Why? Because he took the risk, moving a higher division, and went 12 rounds with a 154-pounder. You know, I've seen it before. I saw it with Mikey Garcia.
Alex said the UFC card would eat Alvarez's show. I'm not here to disrespect anyone. I always fight on Mexican Independence Weekend, and I have my fans and my people, and they've never let me down, said Alvarez, who's coming off a unanimous decision victory over another young contender, Jaime Munguia, on Psycho Deo weekend in May. I just do my thing, Alvarez said. I just want to fight on those days.
Shouldn't be getting hit like that with a guy that has only 11 pro fights. You shouldn't be having that much difficulty with a guy that only has 11 pro fights. Now 12.
Saying he still feels he's the world's #1 fighter over Crawford, undisputed heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk, undisputed junior featherweight champion Naoya Inoue, and others. Alvarez expressed confidence that the Mexico versus Puerto Rico angle of his bout with Bunga stirs his countrymen to strongly support his card. They text me and say we can talk about the fight and Faber with Grafer. I'm going to bring my best like I always do, and Mexico versus Puerto Rico motivates me even more. He said it's amazing to represent my country against a territory that has so many amazing fighters too. Being Alvarez means a constant stream of challengers, including Crawford, clamoring to fight him. It's an honor that everyone wants to fight me, dreaming of having a fight against Canelo. He said, fight, I'm focused 100% on this fight. Look, I don't like that way he talk, and I'm knowing this position because of any he chose Bunga, because the unbeaten Brooklyn fighter who opened his career with 16 consecutive first round knockouts is an entertaining, active younger challenger who will bring a great fight. Alvarez has never been sold on the idea that Crawford will do that, since he is so undersized that he would have every reason to follow an elusive fight plan. He's a good fighter. I know that Alvarez said of Crawford, I'm in this position. If he wants to work with me is in my way, knowing their way. I don't need it. He thinks he can do everything, but I think he knows it's a little bit different at 154. Good fighter. But that's why there are weight classes. I like Terence Crawford. And his style, it's just different. You can see that in that fight against Madreev, it's just different. What didn't you like about how he approached? Like what was is not the way to approach. As for the others, Alvarez floated the suggestion that it might be best to wait just a little longer to meet unbeaten in former 168B title holder David Benavidez, as Benavidez pursues a date with whoever will be crowned the undisputed light heavyweight champion when unbeaten. Russians Dmitry Bivol and URBBV fight in Saudi Arabia on October 12th. People want to see that fight, they'll have to pay, Alvarez said. He's also interested in taking a fight in Japan, where one of the fighters he most admires, former featherweight champion Oscar Larios of Mexico, fought many times. I like to go fight by fight, but I definitely would like to have the experience to go fight in Japan. Alvarez said, I grew up watching Jorge Laris. He went to Japan a lot of times. I really want to go there and have that experience. C needs to fight. And then as for Saudi Arabia, it remains to be seen if he'll ever go there. Canelo is highly dissatisfied with the boxing federation, including Alec, for his approach towards him. According to reports, Alvarez might be looking to finally face David Benavidez in the near future, but the boxing star has asked a massive $200 million for his fight, and Alec appears to be not in the mood to do it Alvarez's way. Turki Alalshikh has changed the dynamics of boxing in recent years and is the main reason why the sweet science is making strides in combat sports again. For I am not asking for that fight. They want to make that fight because he, however, despite this, Canelo Alvarez is not inclined to follow his path, and Alec feels the same way. In his latest move, Alec has stepped forward to issue a shutdown to Alvarez while having a conversation with the media. Canelo Alvarez stated the reasoning behind asking $200 million for his fight against Benavidez. Obviously, he's a risk. He's a great fighter. Plus, he brings to the ring on fight night 25 pounds more than me. It's a risk, but I don't care if the money's right. It can be tomorrow. Well, a $200 million fee would require a massive gate for the promoters to generate any revenue, and Turki Alalshikh knows it very well. That fight I need, I think, tell him deserve more than me, taking to his X handle to disregard Canelo Alvarez's demand. I heard Canelo say that he respects me but doesn't like the way we do business. As for him respecting me, it doesn't matter to me if he does or not. As for the way I do business, I know why he doesn't like it, because I only target big fights at fair prices. So of course anyone who likes easy fights won't like that. That's not all. Alec even questioned Alvarez's capability as a fighter, as he stated that Canelo is looking for easy fights, and I know how he feels after losing to Bivol, so he's been looking for easier fights ever since. Also, I'm not the one who's afraid of fighting Benavidez or Crawford. Therefore, I knew he was wasting our time and making excuses with big amounts of money that can't be paid, so I'm continuing my way to make big fights that serve the boxing world. And he's on his way to making easy show only fights. Turki has said that he's not interested in the fight anymore. What's your reaction or your response to that? Yeah, my, wait. The situation of things must be disheartening to Terence Crawford, who had seen a fight against Canelo Alvarez as the biggest fight of his career, a fight that'll guarantee him his highest payday. Crawford was open to the prospect of a tantalizing showdown with the Mexican star, assuming a lucrative offer is put on the table. You know what they say, if the money's right, we've got a fight, he said ringside. Israel just was a strong opponent. We knew that coming in a gay. Crawford continued, but at the same time, he's got a fight that he's focused on, Edgar Berlanga, on September 14th. I'm going to go back to my family, relax, enjoy this win, and the accomplishments I've made in boxing. When pressed again about a fight with Canelo, Crawford added, it's not so important to me. It's just another milestone towards greatness, and financially wise. Madrimov proved to be a tough nut to crack on the night, and Crawlad the USC's qualities after 12 gripping rounds of action. Israel is a tough competitor. I knew he was going to be tough, he said ringside after the victory. Terence Crawford said, I just was trying to counter him, but at the same time he had a good game plan. He had a lot of feints. I knew all about him when I went to Uzbekistan, and they were telling me all about him. He's strong. He's Durable, he took a lot of good shots and he got me in round 12. I figured it out from the get-go about the game plan, but I was just patient and I didn't want to rush in with anything because that's how I got caught a couple of times by rushing in trying to eat too soon. I did my thing. A lot of times I was wrong. I was touching them up with the jab. I think my jab was beating him up. The new champion continued. You can feel the difference moving up a weight because Israel is a strong opponent. He's only had 11 fights, but he's very strong to fight a guy of his caliber in this fight. Says a lot about me and my team. Looking ahead to the future, His Excellency Turki Alalshikh revealed that an offer had been made to Alvarez for a bout with Crawford and that Virgil Ortiz Jr. is a standby option. If an agreement cannot be reached, that'll work. If so, yeah, you're in. So if the numbers were right with Crawford, you'll do it. However, Crawford's team might have different ideas about the purse split. They argue that Crawford deserves similar money to Canelo Alvarez. It's a bold claim considering Crawford's limited experience in mega fights in a stunning development that set the boxing world abuzz. A dream matchup inches closer to reality. Turki Alalshikh, the mastermind behind Riyadh season, dropped a bombshell about Canelo versus Crawford. The chairman of the General Entertainment Authority revealed he's made an offer to Canelo Alvarez. This potential mega fight could put two of boxing's brightest stars against each other. Alec didn't mince words when discussing the proposal with Dean. I gave Alvarez an offer. If he's smart, he'll accept it. If they accept, we want to see this fight, said Alec via Dazn. But if he doesn't, I want Ortiz. If they accept, we want to see this fight. The Sheikh said that he would be willing to pay whatever you want to fight Crawford. Both fighters are coming off recent victories. Canelo triumphed over Jaime Munguia while Crawford edged out Israel Madrimavin. A nail-biter. These wins only heightened the anticipation of the fight that now seems to be out of the way. Madrimov believed he showed enough in the ring to prove he was worthy of a rematch against Crawford. Speaking via an interpreter, the 29-year-old was happy with his performance across the 12 rounds and is eager to face the American again. Madamu said, I fought the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and I believe I did enough. Because I'm a champion, I was defending the belt. He's one of the best in the world. He's not an easy fight. He knocked out the last 10 opponents he fought, Spence and others. I was controlling the rhythm and felt very comfortable inside the ring. I felt I did very well. I felt that I at least deserved rematch. And if His Excellency Turki Alalshikh can make it happen, then let's go. The Mexican defense is WBA, WBO, and WBC super middleweight titles. He was recently stripped of their title by the IBF against Berlanga at Las Vegas's T-Mobile Arena at a time when there are increased demands for him to instead fight David Benavidez or Terence Crawford next. Those same demands were being made when Jaime Munguia was announced as his opponent for May. The all-Mexican fight on Cinco de Mayo weekend, regardless, proved a popular alternative, but Bunga is a less respected opponent than was Mangua, contributing to observers of boxing and of Alvarez's career being less than impressed. I'm very happy to be here in this position of Mexico versus Puerto Rico in 2015 when he was under growing pressure to fight Gennady Golovkin. Alvarez outpointed Miguel Cotto, a Puerto Rican great. Cott's rivalry with Antonio Margarito is the most memorable between a Mexican and a Puerto Rican in the modern era, but for all that the 27-year-old Bunga has proved entertaining, he is a considerably less proven fighter, which was something Alvarez did little to contest. This fight is a good fight for the people. He responded when asked why it won't be Benavidez or Crawford in the opposite corner on September 14th. Mexico ver Puerto Rico is always a good fight. It's a good fight for the people. Joe fighter, and I'm going to put all my best in the training, all my best in the fight to put it a great fight. And I'm just happy. I love boxing. I never overlook my opponents. I know Edgar Bunga, he's shown he's strong, but at the end of the day, he has a big challenge in front of him. It's going to be a great fight. He's going to show something different, and the people are going to enjoy this fight. I don't expect anything else. He's going to bring everything, and me too. I'm going to enjoy it a lot. It means a lot because the rival is history. It's history. We have great fights, Mexico versus Puerto Rico. And I think this is going to be another one. That's why we have this fight, right? I'm going to do my best. As always, I love what I do. And I'm happy to be here. And all they want, it's going to be a really good night for boxing. I guarantee that Canelo Alvarez and Edgar Bunga have had it fierce and brutal in the build-up to their fight. And only September 14th would reveal the most brutal of the pair. Edgar Bunga has proven to his supporters and then the entire boxing world how much this first title shot means to him and how he's determined to dethrone the Mexican champion. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.